starts, we are actually closer to a trough than a peak, even though we've been in this recovery for about 10 years. I personally believe
we're at the
that
2018 Building
is
Systems
very
Housing
slow.
Summit in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I have the great honor of standing here with Margaret Whelan. Margaret, thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
You have a resume. When I looked you up, I was like, really? You sit on the board of 2 public companies or more, maybe, right?
Yeah.
You have a big background in real estate financial advisory.
Yes.
And here you are joining us at the summit. What are your impressions of the summit so far?
Well, I've been around the NAHB for a couple of decades, but I've never been to a Systems Council conference before. I was very happy to be included as a speaker this afternoon. And I would say my first impression is that it's a very cohesive, generous group. There's an awful lot of idea sharing. The Q&A is interactive. People are very thoughtful with their perspective, the mistakes they've made. They're very humble. And it's fun. It's a lot of good idea flow coming out of it.
Yeah. And I was listening to your speech very intently as well as everybody else's, but you made a comment that it's too expensive to build the old-fashioned way. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Sure. The old-fashioned way in the U.S. is to go out to the job site and spend 6 to 9 months building a house. And because of the labor inflation and the lack of availability of skilled labor, it's taking longer and costing more to build houses. That coupled with the tariffs on steel and timber, which are a big part of the cost process for a housing company, makes about two-thirds, a half to two-thirds of the costs are going up high single digits a year. And at the same time, interest rates have gone up a couple of times this year. So the buyers are telling us over the last few months that housing is too expensive. We can't keep pushing all that cost inflation into the home price. They're on the sidelines. So that means the solution is we've got to find a more effective and cost-effective way to build houses in the ways that they do in Canada, in Asia, and in Europe.
Yeah, and I was reading you kind of, predicting a little bit that we may see about a 20% increase over the next several years.
Yeah.
In offsite construction.
Yes. At least, the thing about it is people talk about where we are in the cycle. Are we going into a recession because we've had this slowdown over the summer months? I believe that we are closer to the trough in terms of starts currently than to the peak. I think we will see a slowdown at some point. I don't think it'll be meaningful. And I think that is a great backdrop for innovation and for change.
Yeah. So, that's why we're all here, right? Because it is starting to pick up. The industry is growing quickly. You're just confirming that with us. So I really appreciate you joining us today. It's been a pleasure having you. I know everybody else really enjoyed what you had to say. So I'm Dave Cooper. We're at the 2018 Building Systems Housing Summit. Margaret Whelan, thank you very much for taking the time and
Thank you for
interviewing with
having me.
Thank you very much.